I have an interesting background, that started, many years ago. I grew up in Lagos, Nigeria, an immigrant. I came to the US. I was 21 years old. My 21st birthday, I left. I didn't feel like I had enough opportunities back home. Well, I came and I got to JFK, 21, November 23rd, and I had $250. I had to get from JFK to Los Angeles on 250. And can you imagine a one-way ticket in 1990? Average cost was maybe $900 to go from JFK to LAX, and I had to do it. And I pretty much went from terminal to terminal to terminal looking for an airline to take me. And it pretty much took about 5.5 hours, almost 6 hours, to find this airline called Braniff. They took me, for $198. The airline is out of business now. Go figure. Look, they helped me out, man. I got love for them. I got to LA at $58 and really no friends. And 4 years later, I was at Harvard Business School. I was one of the youngest to ever attend Harvard. I was 24 years old, the business school. Before that, I used to, I passed the CPA exams, all three parts at one sitting. Only 3% of people do it. I got a job on Wall Street, investing and working for some of the billionaires and millionaires and some of the largest corporations in the world. I did $10 billion deals, $8 billion deals for some companies that you know. Right now, I've built a significant company, a multi-million-dollar company that advises people and does, is in the financial world. Along the way, I had a lot of experiences. There was a time I was homeless, pretty much, for almost 3 months. I didn't exactly live on the street, but I was close. When I graduated, I got to Harvard, luckily. When I graduated, I didn't get my diploma. Most people don't know this. It's actually the first time I've ever said this. I didn't get my diploma for 2 years, my actual certificate, because I could pay the fee, the school fees, even after I graduated. I was so broke. And so I've been poor. And now, God willing, I'm not. I understand what it means not to have money. I understand what many of you are going through. And so people ask me, well, yeah, you've been there. Now you're here. Why are you doing this? Why are you teaching people? Why are you talking about finance? I'll tell you why I'm doing this broadcast. The Brookings Institute wrote a paper in 2013 that talked about the egregious disparity of wealth in America today. The wealth disparity and income inequality that we have today is putting a kibosh on this thing called social migration. Social migration is your opportunity. It's the method in which you advance in life. Wherever you are, you want to buy a new car, you want to buy a new house, you want to make more money, you want to get a new job, you have to move into a different social strata. It's called social migration. What's holding most people back is the disparity of wealth. They're the rich people and they're the not so rich people. And so the Brookings Institute said something which is pretty interesting. That disparity of wealth, which is caused by income inequality, income ain't fair in America, and it ain't equal. Income inequality is basically becoming permanent. Listen to that for a second. Income inequality in the US, which is putting a kibosh on social migration, the ability of you and your children to make more money, to be happier, to buy a better house, to rise, is being reduced and may become permanent, which means for many of you watching, many of you are doing well, but there's others who, yourself and your kids and your kids' kids and your kids' kids' kids may never be as wealthy as Donald Trump's kids or Jeff Bezos's kids. It's becoming permanent. And so part of what I'm trying to do today is break that hold. I work with the 1%. I work with those rich people. I represent them. I work with millionaires. I work with billionaires. I've worked with the largest companies in the universe. And I see how some of these people make their money. And I see how they keep their money and how they pass it to their kids and their kids' kids and their kids' kids' kids. Meanwhile, the 99% are held back. And their kids and their kids and their kids' kids may never actually achieve the American dream. Let's talk about this income. And so that's why I'm doing it. I'm speaking because I want to break that chain. The rich are getting richer and richer and richer, and the poor and the less wealthy, the 99%, are getting poorer and poorer and poorer. This is the worst period of social migration we've ever had in our existence. Ever since 1980, between 1950 after the Industrial Revolution and through 1980, things were good. You know, you could, this thing called the American dream. You could go to school, you could buy a house, you could, get married, you could buy a car, you could have a nice picket fence, and you could send your kids to a good school and they become millionaires and their kids become millionaires. Right now, that dream is not as it should be. And it started in the 1980s. People talk about this 1%. What's the 1% versus the 99%? This 1% are people who make an average of $421,000 a year. The other 99% make an average of $50,000 a year. 50,000. That's it. Now imagine what it is to make 50,000 in America today. You got to pay your rent. You got to buy food. You got to pay your taxes. You got to pay for tuition for college. You got to buy books for your kids. You have to, if you're working, 2-family home, you get a babysitter. There's no money to save. There's nothing left at the end of the day. Those 99% are unable to do the things that are necessary to advance in life. Social migration, they are unable to move up. I'm going to break that chain for you today, starting today. I'm going to show you the ways that you can break that chain, which means increase your income, reduce your expenses, save more. I'm going to show you starting today how you can make more money, turn your income into something that is elastic, works for you, reduce your taxes, and essentially re-engineer for you what the American dream means. Because for many people, it's staying where they are or things even getting worse. So that's why I'm doing it. I'm doing it to help you make a difference.